Hello, friends. Welcome in my series of lectures in OCV, Optimization and Calculus of Variation. Today, I'm going to start with Calculus of Variation. So, lecture 1, let's start. Functional. What is functional? Let capital S be a class of well-defined function, well defined functions. Class means there are lots of well defined functions. If capital F denotes of mapping, capital F denote a mapping of S into R is a real number, set of real number, such that to every element small f which belongs to first set S, there correspond exactly one real number, then f is called as functional on first set S, right? That is f, actually f is a function from mapping from S, f is a mapping from S to R, means f carries element of f carries element of a first set S, where this small f belongs to capital first set S, and this f of S belongs to second set. This is a real number, means f carries the element of S to a unique real number R, right? That means functional. For example, number 1, let small l, this is C01 in close bracket, be the class of all continuous functions defined on close interval 0 to 1, then capital F, which is a function of a small function f, is equal to integration from 0 to 1 f of x with respect to x, is a, then this is a functional, right? Where small f, this belongs to L, means set of the class of a continuous function, means this is a continuous function because this belongs to L, right? Here you can see easily f of 0 will be 0, in place of small f, the integration of 0 is 0. Similarly, f of 1, this will be 1 because integration of 1 is x, and 1 minus 0 is 1. F of small x you can easily put here, and you will get half f of e raised to power x. If you put in place of f of x this small e raised to power x, you will, after integration and uh, doing upper limit minus lower limit, you will get e minus 1 easily. Similarly, f of cos pi x, after substituting here, you will get a 0. So these are the functional. Actually, these are functional, means function of function, right? Example number 2, let L is equal to C x naught x1 denotes the set of all functions by x that are defined and differentiable. डिफाइंड भी है और डिफरेंशियबल भी, डेरिवेटिव भी निकल जाता है, एंड हैव अ कंटिन्यूस डेरिवेटिव, इनका कंटिन्यूस डेरिवेटिव है ऑन क्लोज इंटरवल x नॉट x1. This is from here. Then functional of y, this will be equal to integration from x naught to x1 square root of 1 plus dy upon dx whole square with respect to x. This dy by dx means derivative of this y is a functional defined on C. This is set of a class of continuous function on closed interval x naught to x1, right? Geometrically it describes the length of arc of curve y is equal to yx with ends means endpoints and ends at x naught, y at x naught and x1 y at x1. This represent length of the arc of the curve, this one, whose endpoints are these two, right? So these are the examples of functional. Linear functional, the functional f of y is said to be linear, if it satisfies number one, first condition is f of by 1 plus by 2, this must be equal to f of by 1 plus f of by 2. This is first condition. Number 2, f of cy, this must be equal to c outside f of y. These are the condition for functional, any functional to be linear, right? Variation of the functional. Next, let f of y, this is actually function of function, y be a functional defined on linear space function y. This is defined on linear space function, means simple function y, and delta y, small delta yx, this is equal to y1 minus y delta yx, this b, and this is increment in y, then increment of f of y, means increment of the functional is f of y plus delta y minus f of y. Then the increment of this given functional is difference, this one, and is denoted by, इसको हम या तो डिनोट करेंगे कैपिटल डेल्टा f से और कैपिटल डेल्टा f के साथ अब हम y भी लिख सकते हैं, बिकॉज दिस फंक्शन ऑफ फंक्शन f is function of y and y is further function of x, right? Note number 1, delta f can be expressed as, डेल्टा को हम ऐसे एक्सप्रेस कर सकते हैं, डेल्टा कैपिटल डेल्टा, दिस इज इक्वल टू एल वाई delta y, this is small delta, plus beta of y delta y into maximum of delta y, this one, right? This delta is sum of these two, this plus a product of these two, where L of y delta y, this one first one is a linear functional with respect to delta y and beta of y delta y. This approaches to 0 as maximum value of delta y maximum value of delta y, this approaches to 0, means value of this beta function will be 0 as the value of this approaches to 0, right? Note number 2, the expression L by delta y is known as, इसको हम बोलते हैं वेरिएशन ऑफ द फंक्शनल, और या तो इसको हम डिफरेंशियल भी बोलते हैं, और डिफरेंशियल एंड इज डिनोटेड बाय स्मॉल डेल्टा एफ, राइट? द एक्सप्रेशन दिस वन, इसको हम स्मॉल डेल्टा एफ से भी डिनोट कर सकते हैं, इसको बोलते हैं वेरिएशन ऑफ द फंक्शनल और डिफरेंशियल एंड इज डिनोटेड बाय स्मॉल डेल्टा इनटू कैपिटल एफ, right? So this is all about functional, linear functional and variation of the functional. Let's move further. Maxima or minima of a functional. If the functional this have maximum value on a curve, this one, if value of this functional is either equal to or less than value of this functional at y naught, right? Where the curve y, this is close to curve y naught. Similarly, this functional have minimum value on this curve if value of this functional is either equal to or greater than value of the same functional at y naught, right? So this means maximum or minimum value of a functional. Maximum minimum value of the functional, these are called as extreme values, इनको हम extreme values भी बोलते हैं. So what is the basic problem of calculus of variation? This is to determine, we have to determine function y such that the functional this one takes on maximum or minimum value. जैसे इस function की maximum और minimum value होगी, ultimately we have to find value of y, right? Value of y, that is which value of y. Note number 3, the function y is equal to y, this is actually function of x, this actually extremizes a functional, is called as extremal. तो फाइनली जो हमारे पास y की वैल्यू आएगी वो उसको बोलेंगे हम एक्सट्रीमल, बिकॉज दिस extremizes the given functional, this function extremizes the given functional, so this is called as extremal. So on solving the given functional we get actually extremals, right? Next is necessary condition for the existence of extremal. If we have this functional, the necessary condition for this functional to be maximum or minimum is that this differential equation must be equal to 0. This is partial derivative of f with respect to y, this is ordinary derivative with respect to x, and this is partial derivative of f with respect to y dash, where f, जो small f आ रहा है, this is twice continuously differentiable function and values of x0, x1 y at x naught, y at x1 are prescribed. Prescribed means value of these will be given in the numerical or a question. So first of all, prove this. Consider the फंक्शनल हमारे पास दिया हुआ है I of y, this is equal to integration from x naught to x1 f of x y y dash with respect to x. Let us put this to be equation number 1. This functional is given, right? Let y is equal to function of x be extremal of functional and y bar be the neighborhood of y, and y bar, let us suppose y bar is neighborhood of y, mean this is very close to y, such that value of y bar, this is equal to y plus epsilon time eta, which is function of x. This eta is function of y. Let us put this to be equation number 2, where इसमें एक epsilon आ रहा है. Epsilon is a small parameter and eta be an arbitrary, eta is arbitrary continuous differentiable, this is continuous differentiable function such that value of eta at x naught is equal to value of eta at x1, both are equal to 0. Value of eta at x naught and x1 is 0. This is to ensure that curve passes through the points whose coordinate are points A and B, whose coordinate are x naught, y naught, and B x1, y1 as shown in the figure. ठीक है, इस फिगर में क्लियर है. This is two dimensional. Both these two mutual perpendicular lines meet at point 0. This is point A whose coordinate are x naught, y naught, and this is point B whose coordinate are x1, y1. This is curve y, which is denoted by C, and this is curve y bar and is denoted by C dash, right? And distance between these two curve, you can easily see a difference between these two is epsilon time eta. This difference is epsilon time eta, right? It means along C epsilon will be equal to 0. इस curve के along C epsilon is 0 because epsilon into eta time is the difference between these two curve, right? And let us suppose this to be question number 3. This to be question number 3. Now from equation 1 just replace by bar. So I of y bar, this will be equal to integration from x naught to x1. This is f of x y bar dash bracket close with respect to x, which can be written as integration from x naught to x1. This is f of x y bar, you can easily see from here. This is y plus epsilon time eta, right? Similarly y bar dash, this will be y dash plus epsilon time eta dash. Epsilon is constant, right, since of equation 2, right? Substitute the value of y bar and y bar not from this equation, which is which is function of epsilon, that is value of I, this functional I in term of y var taken along curve C dash is function of epsilon. Therefore this can be written as this functional, also this is functional actually in term of epsilon, right? This is function in term of epsilon, so by bar can be replaced by epsilon, so which is equal to integration from x0 to x1. This is f of x y plus epsilon time eta y dash plus epsilon time eta dash, and this is with respect to x, right? So this is question number 1, this is question number 2, this is question number 3. Now next, so what we have proved, what we have done so far, this is the functional, right? This is the functional. We have supposed a curve y and pi bar which is neighborhood of a curve y, right? Epsilon is parameter, eta is constant. In this way, this is curve C, curve y denoted by C. This is curve y bar denoted by C bar, right? Difference between these two curves is epsilon time eta, right? Now I'm going to use here since y Taylor's theorem for function of several variables, that is f of x plus a, y plus b, z plus c. This will be equal to f of x, y, z plus a time partial derivative f with respect to x, b time partial derivative f with respect to y, c time partial derivative of f with respect to z. This is second term plus so on, continue in this way. Therefore the above equation becomes, above equation means this equation. Compare this function with this function. Here a is 0, b is epsilon time eta, and c is epsilon time eta dash, and x y z are x by y dash. So compare this integrand, this one, right? So what we will get? We will get I of epsilon, this is equal to integration from x0 to x1. So first term will be f of x y by bar x by y dash. Since a is not there, so partial derivative f with respect to x will be 0. This is 0 plus epsilon eta time partial derivative of f with respect to y, epsilon eta dash partial derivative of f with respect to y dash plus o epsilon square, bracket close, where o epsilon square, this means terms containing epsilon square and higher order, right? Epsilon square and higher order. Therefore ordinary derivative of I with respect to epsilon. Now derivative of this with respect to epsilon, integration is as it is, integration from x0 to x1. First derivative will be 0, second is already 0, plus next is derivative of this with respect to epsilon, and this will be eta time partial derivative f with respect to y, because its derivative is 1. Similarly this will be eta dash time partial derivative of f with respect to y, because these two are constant. We are finding derivative with respect to epsilon, and its derivative will be epsilon square will be epsilon 2 epsilon actually. So this will be now order of epsilon, right? Bracket close with respect to x. So what we are getting, integration from x naught to x1, we are getting eta time partial derivative of f with respect to y, eta dash partial derivative f with respect to y dash plus order of epsilon bracket close with respect to x, where this means term containing epsilon square, right, and higher order. Let us suppose this to be equation number 4. Now for extremal, that is for maximum or minimum, first derivative must be equal to 0. So this first derivative with respect to epsilon must be equal to 0 at epsilon is equal to 0. So this term, if we suppose epsilon equal to 0, so term containing epsilon higher order will be 0. So we will get these. So this implies integration from x naught to x1. This is eta time partial derivative f with respect to y, eta dash partial derivative f with respect to y dash with respect to x will be equal to 0. Now separate integration from x naught to x1 of eta partial derivative f with respect to y with respect to x plus x naught to x1 eta dash partial derivative of f with respect to y dash of x will be equal to 0. Let us suppose this to be first function, this to be second function, and first integral is as it is. This integral is as it is, x naught to x1 eta partial derivative with respect to y, right? First term as it is, partial derivative of f with respect to y dash. This is integration by part. Integration of first as it is, integration of this will be eta, right? And limit is from x naught to x1 minus integration derivative of first derivative of partial derivative f with respect to y dash into integration of this, because derivative and integration cancel, we are left with the eta again with respect to x is equal to 0. This is integration of uv. This is first function, second function with respect to x, right? Integration by part. First as it is, integration of second minus integration derivative of first, integration of a second. So this further implies x naught to x1 eta time partial derivative of f with respect to 0, right? Since by equation number 3 we know eta at x naught is equal to eta at x1, both are equal to 0. So upper limit minus lower limit, so this term will be 0, right? So this will be 0 minus integration from x naught to x1, this will be derivative with respect to x, partial derivative of f with respect to y dash into eta with respect to x will be equal to 0 because of equation number 3. Now what is common between these two equations? Integration is common, x naught to x1, eta is also common, right? So inside we are left with the partial derivative f with respect to y minus first order of partial derivative f with respect to y dash, because eta is common, with respect to x is equal to 0. Since eta is actually a function of x, this eta is arbitrary continuous function. This is arbitrary function, means this can take any value. This can be 0, this can be positive, negative, right? So in order to be this integral to be 0, we must have, this implies the term in bracket must be equal to 0. So partial derivative of f with respect to y, derivative with respect to x, or partial derivative of f with respect to y dash will be equal to 0. This further implies this can be written as fy, this means partial f with respect to y minus derivative with respect ordinary derivative, this can be written as fy dash. These by and y dash are in subscript, so these means these are another notation for this one. This means first order partial derivative of f with respect to y dash, this is equal to 0. So friends, what we are getting, this is, what is this one? This is right here, which is Euler's equation, right? Euler's equation, and is also known as Euler-Lagrange equation. हम Euler इक्वेशन बोलते हैं या Euler-Lagrange इक्वेशन भी बोलते हैं, राइट? This is either Euler equation or Euler-Lagrange equation. This is what we want to prove, right? This is required to prove. Now further, if you see this equation that we have just proved, it's a second order differential equation. DE means differential equation, and its solution is known as, इसका जो solution होगा उसको बोलते हैं, is known as extremal of f depending upon the boundary conditions extremal may exist uniquely, मीन्स हमारे पास एक एक्सट्रीमल भी हो सकता है, मे नॉट एग्जिस्ट, एक्सट्रीमल आ भी नहीं सकता है, और मे एग्जिस्ट इनफाइनाइटली, मीन्स एक्सट्रीमल या तो होंगे ही नहीं, या यूनिक एक होगा, या तो इनफाइनाइट होंगे, एक से ज़्यादा होंगे, राइट? नोट नंबर 1, every solution of Euler's equation which satisfies the boundary conditions is called as एक्सट्रीमल, और या तो हम एक्सट्रीमल बोलते हैं या तो हम स्टेशनरी फंक्शन भी बोलते हैं, राइट? एक्सट्रीमल और स्टेशनरी फंक्शन ऑफ द प्रॉब्लम, जो भी हमारे पास प्रॉब्लम होगी, या तो हम उसको हम एक्सट्रीमल बोलेंगे या तो स्टेशनरी फंक्शन बोलेंगे, राइट? नोट नंबर 2, सिंस f is function of x, y dash, therefore ordinary derivative of f with respect to x, this will be partial derivative of f with respect to x, partial derivative f with respect to y, according first variable is x, second is y, next is ordinary derivative of y with respect to x, f with respect to y, then y with respect to x. Similarly, f with respect to y dash, then ordinary y dash with respect to x. This is by definition of a total derivative. You are familiar with this one, right? By total derivative, this can be written as y dash, this can be written as y double dash. So this is f with respect to x, this is f with respect to y into y dash, and this is f with respect to y dash, this is y double dash. So this is f y dash and this is y double dash. Let us put this to be equation number 1. Also, ordinary derivative of y dash, f with respect to y dash with respect to x, this can be written as y dash derivative f with respect to y dash plus f with respect to y dash, derivative of this is product rule, first as it is derivative, second as derivative of this, y dash derivative will be y double dash. Let us put this to equation number 2. Now 1 minus 2 gives 1 minus 2 करो, this minus this, so this will be f with respect to x minus y dash f with respect to y dash. These two term minus this two term cancel, one we are doing 1 minus these two term cancel, so we are left with 1 2 and 3 terms, f with respect to x, f with respect to y into y dash minus y dash, and this is f with respect to y dash, right? This further can be written as derivative of f with respect to x, y dash f with respect to y dash minus f with respect to x. Outside here what is common, y dash is common between these two terms, and inside f with respect to y with respect to x, f with respect to y dash, right? So what is this one? This is Euler-Lagrange equation, its value 0, y dash into 0 which is equal to 0, since y Euler's equation, we know this is Euler's equation, its value is 0, so this is equal to 0, right? So what we are getting, derivative with respect to x, what is common between these two terms? First f minus y dash, f with respect to y dash, derivative is common, minus f with respect to x, right? 0, which is another form of Euler equation or Euler-Lagrange इक्वेशन, इसको हम Euler इक्वेशन भी बोलते हैं या तो Euler-Lagrange इक्वेशन. नोट नंबर 3, partial derivative of f with respect to y, second order partial derivative of f with respect to x and y dash time second order partial f with respect to y and y dash minus y double dash second order partial derivative f with respect to y dash, this will be equal to 0, which is, इसको बोलते हैं हम, which is extended form of Euler-Lagrange's equation. So friends, what we have learned in this lecture, we have done some basic concept of functional, and then we have derived the necessary condition for existence of extremal, that is Euler equation. Then we have done 3 notes, and this is the another form of Euler-Lagrange equation, and this is extended form of Euler's Lagrange equation. So what will be the solution of functional? Solution of the functional will be extremal, right? So it depend on boundary condition. So extremal may exist uniquely, हमारे पास एक extremal भी आ सकता है, एक्सट्रीमल एग्जिस्ट नहीं करेगा ऐसा भी पॉसिबल है, या तो एक्सट्रीमल हमारे पास इनफाइनेट भी आ सकते हैं. इट ऑल डिपेंड ऑन व्हाट काइंड ऑफ प्रॉब्लम्स और व्हाट काइंड ऑफ फंक्शनल्स we are provided with, right? So friends, this is all about this lecture, right? Thank you.